Thank you for coming. I want to know several things about the Solomon Islands and the Chinese government and Taiwan. First, please introduce yourself for Japanese audience.
Thank you. My name is Mr. Daniel Sweidani. I am the former premier for the province of Malita. I am a teacher, an elementary teacher by provision. I graduated from the College of Higher Education in 1989. That is a long time ago. So I become elected into power in 2019. This my short this is about me. Yeah.
Firstly, could you share the current situation that you want to convey to Japanese people regarding the relationship between the Solomon Islands and China? What happened?
The relationship between the Solomon Islands and China, the switch from ROC to PRC happened in 2019, and that was between the GCJ government and the PRC. We have a long time friendship with the people of Taiwan for 36 years, and during the time, Taiwan is so helpful. They've been providing services to the Solomon Island government. So during the time when the government switched from ROC to PRC, there's a lot of disagreement between the people of Solomon Island regarding the switch from ROC. Basically, because of the people really shocked about the switch because they have never been taught about the switch before the government decided to do the switch. So the people expect a wider referendum in the country. People need to hear from the government the issue about the switch, but that was not the case. So the relationship from that time to today is still not go down well with many Solomon Islanders. The way PRC has been doing, like the friendship between the government, the Solomon Island government and the PRC. Many of the memorandum of understanding that has been signed and so many things that has been happening cause a lot of questions and answers in the minds of Solomon Island, especially we seems to have like the fear into in people's mind because of the, like even in media before, when Solomon Island before, people feel free to express their feeling and if they want to say something to the government, they are freely to share. We have this freedom of speech, but it's not at the moment. People are very fearful of saying something, and we have seen a lot of things that the government seems to control, not for the interest of the people of Solomon Islands, but for the interest of the PRC. So that is the relationship at the moment. So we are not really happy about the switch actually. Many people in Solomon Island have been seeing things at the moment coming out clear. It's not on their at the favor. They seems to come to realize so many things that are very, very different from before, especially the freedom and the sovereignty that we used to have before. So that is basically what is the relationship between Solomon Island and China. So many people do not agree with the switch.
Yeah, democratic are facing on crisis.
Yes.
In Solomon.
Exactly. So democracy, like we have before, like we share the same values, principles of democracy with like Japan and Australia, US, the freedom, the liberty that people want to express their views, even against the government or even to the government. That is not what is happening now. The government seems to avoid the people. That is something happening is now at the moment. The government seems to avoid people from what they want to hear from the government. So it's not like before. The freedom and the freedom of speech has been controlled. The news media, like the Solomon Star, has been taken over, I suppose, by the CCP. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to know more about the Malaita. I have heard that in Malaita, the division and the conflict among the people are deepening over whether to support China or Taiwan. Why is this the case?
So since the switch until today, we haven't seen anything the China government regime has been doing in Malaita at all. There are so many good talks about projects and things, but the people of Malaita, in this case, prefer Taiwan a lot more than China because of the values that we share and the principle that we stand for. So that is what exactly people really want to have this friendship that they have with Taiwan before to continue. We have been a good friend with Taiwan because Taiwan, you might hear during the Solomon Island ethnic unrest, the Taiwan is the only government that remains with the people of Solomon Island during the darkest time of the country. So yes, the people of Malaita, indeed, they still prefer Taiwan as a friend indeed.
And what are the intentions of the Chinese government in strengthening its influence in the Solomon Islands? What is the intention of the Chinese government?
Well, we have heard of this switch, and like I've said earlier on, many of the things that happened between the government of Solomon Island and the CCP hasn't been made known to the people. So many of us, the purpose of the main intention of China friendship with the Solomon Islands is not known because the MOUs that has been signed, no one in the country have access in seeing the realities of the friendship. So to say anything really as what the aim is, I cannot say at this point of time because all their agreement has been secretly hidden from the people. So, but we have seen the issue of infrastructure. They've been building the Pacific Games Stadium in Honiara, and that is what we have seen in the country. But in the provinces, we haven't seen anything at all. That not only in Malaita, but other provinces as well. We have 9 provinces in Solomon Island, and like I've said, not many developments from China been done in the provinces. So we haven't seen what actually is the friendship is all about. But we have seen the issue of building the stadium, and because of that, the government extend the election for the purpose of the games. So that is what we have seen happening so far. So no one clearly understands the MOUs have been signed between the two governments. So at this point of time, things are still cloudy. People didn't understand well the aims and the objectives of the CCP with the GCGA government.
And what are the impacts of these matters on Japan? And what measures should the Japanese government take?
Well, we have been in the US and Canada we are visiting people that we share the same values, and we are now in Japan. We expect, like the friends of Japan, to one thing that we want to see is that these Western allies, these friends of ours, these partners, need to come down to the Solomon Islands and be seen physically on the ground. Like we have shared the values of principles of democracy, and the Chinese have been seen everywhere in Solomon Islands. They have been operating businesses and other things, like they're involved in so many things in the country, in Solomon Islands. But we haven't seen Japanese people, US, and being on the ground so that we can relate to them in many things. So today, like we are now in the country, in Japan, I have seen a lot of things that Japan should do to help the country, Solomon Islands, in terms of economic developments with Japan as a friend. Japan has been doing a lot of things in Malita province as well, and in the country Solomon Islands, but we haven't seen them on the ground. So our hope is that one day Japan must come down and part of the developments of the country and the economic development of Solomon Islands.
Yeah, I agree with you, and we have to know more and more about the Solomon Islands. What happened now?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And Suidani-san mentioned about the media, so I want to know, were there also attacks from the Chinese government in the form of cognitive warfare, including spreading fake news?
Well, we have these two main media streams in the country, the Solomon Star and the Island Sun. And from the look of things, Island Sun is still okay, still getting some good neutral information to the public. But with the Solomon Star, the news that has been around for after the switch has been biased all the time. So like there's the attack, like the propaganda, use of media to talk more about Chinese informations in the media than from information from Japan and Australia and US. So they continue to talk about information about China. So that, in my mind, I've seen there's a bias in the media. And the Solomon Star, like I've said, they have been it was witnessed in the media. They said that one of their reporters confirmed that they should be helping China in their media statements and in their news release. So that really comes out from one of the main media reporters from Solomon Star. So we have seen propaganda and biased news coming from Solomon Star, and that is how they use to gain the minds of people, putting information, though it's not true, they continue to put it in newspaper, and that keeps telling the people about things that Chinese do or Chinese going to do and the projects and whatever. So that is something that we realize this time with the news from the medias that Solomon Star is releasing at the moment.
Now we are facing on the division world. The world is divided, China or not China. What should we do, especially citizens all over the world? People should, what kind of action?
Like, it's a very good question. Like, in my view, I've seen that all democratic countries should come together, a united front, and start to talk about how to counter the issues of CCP. One country itself cannot counter these things by themselves. So it would be appropriate and good for countries like Japan, US, Canada, Australia to come together to help the Pacific Islands who also believe in democracy. So in my view, together as one front, information and fighting the CCP, this country who believe in the principles of democracy should come together and talk together, have a platform that can, together, we can work together to counter the issues that we face against the CCP. That's my point.